this event is it's the last public event of our 2 years work of monitoring of war crimes of Russian aggression against Ukraine. This project was supported by Visegrad Fund, International Visegrad Fund, based in Bratislava. It was, I think, one of the first monitoring projects supported by Visegrad. Budapest was a little bit, to organize an event like this here in Budapest was a little bit difficult for us because it's our first public event in Hungary in general. We have never been working here. We even have never have a partner. It's our fourth Visegrad project, and we have never had a partner from Hungary. So this is also one of the tasks for this meeting, for this event. If some of you would be interested to participate us with future in the Visegrad project, we would like to keep in touch, and from next year, when this project will be over, we can think about some future cooperation. So for this particular event, I would like to say very big thank you to Czech Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to Czech Embassy, who supported us and who gave us the first idea how to organize it. And the idea to organize it actually here came from Czech Center, who is also our main partner here in Hungary. And the idea to do it in Central European University came from them. And I have to say thank you very much for this, because this university, this house, we were here already yesterday, is one of the most beautiful universities I have ever seen, including this technical equipment, which is working perfectly. And of course, I would like to say big thank you to Ukrainian embassy, who were supporting us and sharing the information about this event. And this is the reason why I'd like to give a floor to Victoria Severniak from the embassy, because she may say some words as an opening speech. Thank you very much for your support. Please.
Thank you very much, dear guests, distinguished organizers, dear friends. First of all, I would like to say that I'm really honored to be here, and we as embassy, we were honored to support the organization of this event. It is of crucial importance, even though after the 8 years of hybrid warfare and over 2 years of full-scale war, it is still very important to share the information, because Russia propaganda is strong everywhere in Hungary and in each European country. So it's of crucial importance to share the evidence of this brutal war of aggression we are fighting against every day. And I would like to thank for all the support we are receiving from our partners, from our allies, in terms of military assistance, humanitarian aid, financial support, help, assistance to our citizens who were forced to flee our country. This help cannot be underestimated, and we are really deeply grateful for it. We often hear voices urging ceasefire, urging peace. So answering to these voices, I would like to underline to all of you that no one, no nation is more interested in peace than Ukraine. But we have to understand here that peace and appeasement are different things. So we are working together with our partners to establish a long-lasting, sustainable and just peace. And on the 15th, 16th of June, we will have the first Global Peace Summit. We are organizing it together with Switzerland, and it is very, very important that the whole international community supports the peace formula of Ukraine, aimed at ensuring sustainable peace, and that nothing like this war of aggression happens ever again in the future. And another very important element that we are working on is the restoration of justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. So that is why we always use each opportunity to urge our allies, to urge our partners to help us gather the evidence, to document the evidence. We really appreciate the establishment of the register of damages. We are working on the creation of the International Special Tribunal for the crime of aggression. These are the things that are of very significant importance to us. And this is why, once again, I would like to thank the Team for Ukraine, to thank the organizers of this event for all the work you were doing and are doing in Ukraine, and all the work to share, to show the reality that Ukrainian citizens are facing day to day, peaceful citizens, children, elderly people, for documenting it and for sharing it. Thank you very much, and we are absolutely sure that we will win this war, no matter how hard it is, no matter how long it takes, and we encourage all our partners, all our friends to stand by Ukraine, to continue helping us, and we are convinced that by joint effort we will put an end to this brutal, terrible Russian war of aggression. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this nice speech.
That was Peter Poyman. He didn't present himself, but he will. He is actually the only professional criminologist between ourselves, and my name is Natalia Zubar. I'm from Kharkiv, and I will be showing lots of videos. Okay. Huge supermarket like Home Depot on last Saturday, and this is documentation which was done by our members. I am not turning on the voice, not to translate it, but when it was shaky, he was crying like, fire, air alarm, get out, get out. Get to hide because they're using double or triple taps. So you see here, this is our best drone operator. Who does all the drone footage you see around, and you will see more, Zhenya. And he is actually describing the damage. At that, as of today, there are 90 people dead, several are in critical condition, and 54 are badly injured. And this is basically what was inside.
Before the Russian invasion, this facility served as a research institute and participated in the Hadron Collider project. In March of 2022, the Russians had shelled and bombed with precision-guided weapons, dropping a half-ton bomb on the nuclear reactor. They shelled the entire village and surrounding areas, so there's no doubt what their target was. Significant damage has occurred to the reactor, and because nobody in the history of humankind has ever bombed a nuclear facility, it is very difficult to determine the extent of the damage that has been done to the nuclear reactor. The reactor continues to pose an extreme danger to the local population, and will require extensive research in order to determine what can be done to contain the radiation or any potential future leaks.
So this case of the targeted bomb attempt to destroy the nuclear facility in Kharkiv is already, we have already 5 Russian generals indicted for this crime, and they are in the international search warrants is issued already. So this is the first crime of ecocide in Ukraine, which has moved up to the stage of the court proceedings. The crime of ecocide, this is a crime presumed which is foreseen by the Criminal Code of Ukraine. It was introduced like 20 years ago, but there has been never a single case of ecocide proven yet.
So please, you have a floor.
So it is nice to meet you, and it's a privilege to be able to speak here to you. So I will start more generally. What I will mention first is that the religious persecution committed by Russian forces started since 2014 So we aren't talking about events which would start only after 2022. So the Russian forces mainly targeted religious buildings, theological seminaries, or holy places which belongs to religious groups, which are either seen as being affiliated with Ukrainian nation or are seen as important for the Ukrainian national identity, or religious groups which are being seen by Russians as being affiliated by the West. So that, for example, includes the Orthodox Church of Ukraine, the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, and from the institutions, religious institutions which are seen as being affiliated with the West. Those are various evangelical and Protestant churches, Jehovah's Witnesses, and also the Church of Latter-day Saints, so the Mormons. What was happening since 2014, where in addition to harassment of both priests and also churchgoers, it was also torture, abductions, or extrajudicial executions. What happened since the full invasion was that this violence was escalated in terms of scale. So, for example, according to the report, which was made by the Institute for Religious Freedom and which was presented on the Summit of International Religious Freedom in Washington, before the end of the year 2022, almost 500 buildings, theological seminaries, or holy places were either fully destroyed, damaged, or looted by Russian armed forces. And what is important that this number doesn't include only buildings affiliated to these churches which I mentioned, but also to the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, formerly Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Moscow Patriarchate, which is in reality affiliated with the Orthodox Church in Russia. By mentioning one of the figures who belongs to the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, formerly of Moscow Patriarchate, that's Oleg Alexandrovich Ivanov, known under religious name Elisei. He's a former metropolitan of Izium and Kupiansk. He's not in Ukraine now, he fled. And he is one of the examples of how this particular church collaborated with Russia and Russian occupied forces when they occupied Izium. Another pro-Russian collaborator from Izium, and who is also a priest of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, formerly of Moscow Patriarchate, is Mikhail Pimashin, known under the religious name Matvey. He's the abbot of monastery of the Pishchansk icon of the Mother of God in Izium. And he's important because in addition to helping Russians by helping to spread and taking part in production of their propaganda, he was providing interviews where he was legitimizing Russian occupation. He also denied that there is a war taking place, and he also said that there is no division between the church in Russia and the church in Ukraine. Now, what is more important is that he personally wrote a letter to Patriarch Kirill in Russia and asked him to provide humanitarian aid. And he was then, this person, Mikhail Pimashin, he was then distributing the aid to people who remained in Izium. And in this, he basically, and he was also deciding who is going to get the aid and who is not going to get the aid. And in this way, he took part in buying and buying the loyalties of the local population, because he was the person who was providing them with essential goods. Which, this is it.
This is, by the way, the best presentation, because this is always working, you know, with this. This is really always working. You know?
So in Kamyanka, just like in Supivka, all the significant buildings which had some religious or cultural significance were destroyed or damaged. You can see the church here. Also damaged was the cultural center, the local cultural center, which was used by the Russians as a sort of base.
According to the witnesses from Kharkiv, we know that they were saying that the Russians were saying we have actually only 48 hours to solve the Kharkiv issue, and we are continuing further. It was not working, but the plan was to solve the problem in 5 days, and actually in first days of invasion, 3 days, we were several more. We were not observing war crimes, classical war crimes. They were targeting military targets, military persons, and only later real war crimes and targets to even kill the garden started. For example, when we were talking with the witnesses from Izium, this house, you know, it was purely civilian target, and we went through the interrogation already with the witness from this house, and the first question, on one of the first question to her was actually, have you seen some Ukrainian military equipment around or in Izium before the aerial bombing from the Russian side started? And she said no, there were only checkpoints. Very important question, not only what you have seen, but also you haven't seen, and there were no military targets in Izium when the aerial bombing was taking place. So this is my main topic, because it's not only about the documentation of war crimes, it's also about the research of Russian deviant behavior. The question is, what are the sources of this behavior? Because usually when we are talking about war, as Napoleon was saying, you need three things: money, money, money. But it's not always true. You need the money, you need the weapons, you need the army. But if you are doing war with big number of war crimes, which are part of Russian strategy, which we are definitely following here in Ukraine, you need also people who are willing to commit these crimes, and it's not so easy to find them, because not every society, not in each society you can find so big number of people. You can find bad boys everywhere, but here we are following this in very big numbers. When I was writing this. When this article, I made one scientific mistake. You are the first who know this, but actually I forgot to mention there Moscow Patriarchate Church, because it's playing extremely important role in devianting, in cultivating these deviant subcultures. Orthodox Church is. It's important in propaganda, in cultivating this imperial thinking in Russian society, and is also important in motivating soldiers on the field, so in strategical and tactical level both. There are two articles by Eva Cheplova, my friend. She wrote this article recently, and I will add this idea to my article, because this article will serve as a opening chapter to our criminal report we are going to publish as one of the very important results of this Visegrad project.